Welcome to Fresh Off the Boat Season 2. I'm Arjun Seth, founder, director of EdBrand. We are an admissions consulting company based in Gurgaon, India. I'm delighted to have Amlan Basu join us today. Amlan, why don't you introduce us and then we'll take it from there.
Hi, everybody. So I basically used to work with Arjun for my college applications and while I was coming to the US for my undergrad. And I think it was a wonderful experience of, the entire college application journey that I had back in 2017. And now when I graduate, I look back at those moments and I think that, it really helped me get into UMass where I did my undergrad from. And that college that I did from helped me get a good job in the US as well, which is not that easy for the other students that I know who are international at my university.
Right. I remember, Amlan, you were interested in economics, but as you entered sort of college,
Right.
it all panned out. So tell us a little bit about your academic journey and what was your mindset going into studying at college far away from India?
Right.
How did it change over a period of time?
So I studied PCM in CBSE, and after I completed that, I wanted to do economics because I didn't really like science. So I came to UMass as an econ major, but when I came here, I saw a lot of people doing double majors, and as an international student, I saw that people who do a STEM major gets like 3 years of work permit compared to other majors who get like 1 year of work permit. So what I did was I switched my primary major to math and kept econ as my secondary major. So I think those quantitative skills is something that the US, like companies in the US, really see in their employees. And there's a higher factor of getting a good job and a high salary job in the US if you are a STEM major. So when I switched to math, I first switched to applied math, but I didn't really like applied math. So that's a good thing about the US. It gives you 2.5 years to sort of switch your majors here and there, and decide what major is good for you. So I finally switched to statistics as my primary concentration in math, and that's how I graduated. In December 2021. So it's been a good academic life so far. I think there have been a lot of ups and downs because of COVID and like things becoming online. I going back to India. It wasn't really like the right kind of education that I got for the past 1.5 years because of COVID. But I think things settled out well.
Fine. So, it's interesting that you talk about graduating even a semester early, of finishing all your course requirements a semester early, getting credits. And knowing you in high school, there was that constant struggle of really achieving the level that
Yes.
you wanted. So
Yes.
kudos to you in terms of effort. So what do you think worked for you in academics in a large public university setting? How did you find mentorship, or how did you find peers who could push you to succeed? How did that transformation happen?
So basically, like when I first came to a large public university, I had heard from a lot of people that private universities give you more attention. They like since there are fewer students, more mentors, so they focus on you and your skills more than in a public university where I had like 250, 300 students in one of my classes. So, but what's important is that every university gives you a certain amount of career fairs, like participation. They give you the right advisors in your own college, in the university. And those are very important factors. I think in my university, there's a thing that we use called handshake, which we all have. And handshake really, what it does is that it binds the advisor, the student, and the recruiter together, and it filters your resume based on what skills you have. So that helps you to find companies which are looking for people like you who have the right skills, who have the right academic grades, who are willing to work, what are your like your compensation levels and everything, and who you are as a person. So in a large university, people don't really come up to you and say, like, let me have a look at your thing. They are more going to be like, did you, as a entire group, they're going to be like, did you join the group? Did you join such and such thing? Did you apply using such and such link like Handshake? So those are the things that UMass gave us. I think that is something I'm very grateful coming to UMass, because when I was in India applying to colleges, I didn't really know what was going on, what would happen at UMass. For me, I was just looking at colleges based on based on like levels, rankings, based on where I could get, where the university is in the US, city, culture, international students. But I think UMass has given me almost everything, if not all, like almost everything that I expected. Whether it comes to a lot of international students coming here, like you don't feel homesick. When it comes to career opportunities, when it comes to the seminars that you have to do, it's mandatory for you to do it. Uh, that are good for your career, basically. So UMass has all these things, and I think that has really helped me, you know, filter my job searches, even though it's been a really big struggle for me, and I'm sure everyone goes through that. But ultimately, succeeding in and getting in one place, using your skills to do something after college, that is something UMass is really helped.
So as you progressed in your, say, upperclassmen years, by the time you were in your junior year, you had already decided on the double major, you were meeting the requirements. What courses does economics and then applied math double major have, or how does it work in the first 2 years, and then how do you choose electives within those courses to decide on your major?
Right. So I think when it comes to every single major, I think in the university, what I've seen, the first 2 years are a pretty set pattern. Like we get a checklist of what we have to do, and you basically have to complete. In the first day, it's more like basic classes, more like gen eds. You have to study biology, physical sciences, history, everything, even though if you're a math major or a stats major. And then in even in your major, even in economics, even in mathematics, like basic calculus and differential calculus. Then in economics, we had like something like micro introduction to microecon or macroecon and these classes, which were really set. And such thing happened in the sophomore year as well. We get a set pattern where the introduction becomes intermediate, basically. So we have intermediate macroecon, intermediate. But when you come to the junior and the senior year, what changes is that, you know, there's something called as an elective, which is basically like you have to take 3 out of, say, 10 upper level classes for the major in order to graduate. So in those 3 classes, people can actually choose which 3 classes actually interest them. Like I took a class which was on game theory because I'm a stats major, so that is something which was more mathematical, more quantitative for me. I also took a class on econometrics, so that was also more towards data science and all. So we get a lot of these options so that every kind of major can sort of adapt to their specific skill sets that they build in the first 2 years. So at the end of the sophomore year, what I had also done is that I had done a data science specialization course from Johns Hopkins. That was an online course. That was a 10-month long course. And that was the most important thing I had actually done in my CV. That also helped me get the job. So when I did that course, I was so confident at quantitative skills like Python or um, SQL and all of them. So that really helped me do my upper level stats and econ classes really easily because I had known all the programming language really well. I'd known how to play around with numbers and all of that.
Okay, that's fantastic. I think doing additional course load, it's a good tip for everyone listening in that if your school doesn't offer you that intensity early on, and if you really want to challenge yourself, you could sign up for a certification program like that. So now let's switch gears about life in UMass, which is a typical public university college town with many other small private liberal arts colleges in the neighborhood. So what was it like to participate in that community? What did you do in your free time? What in retrospect do you think really helped you improve and become the person you are?
When it comes to UMass, the first thing is that many international students come here. Like it's such a big university that even though it's far from a city, like like 2 hours away from Boston, so we don't really go to cities that much. It's more like a college town where we have everything around UMass. Basically, we have five other colleges. Those are all around UMass basically. But UMass is such a big community and such a big international community that we have every kind of like South Asian festivals that people go to. We have a lot of good, vibrant social life here. We have many sports clubs, many investment clubs that people join. One of the things that I did personally was that like in my sophomore year, I decided I need to meet more people. Like there's it's time to connect with more, network with more, so that it helps me growing forward in my senior year. So I joined a fraternity, which is basically a part of a Greek life in America. And I joined Delta Sigma Phi, and I was a brother there. We started the fraternity actually at UMass. So like it was good to do some organizational structuring, building, being a part of the executive board of a national level fraternity, and also meet so many people. Like I remember I went to a field trip in New York City in 2019, and that actually I met with so many different brothers from other Delta Sigma Phi campus communities across the United States. There was a group from UC Berkeley, there was a group from Wisconsin Madison, and some of them I'm still in touch with. So I think one should definitely try to look at the social life. When it comes to these Greek life fraternities, people say some people have a wrong, mindset about it, that it's more for bullying, and like there's a lot of wrong stuff that is done over there. But being a part of an organization that I personally started in such a big university, I think it's been a wonderful experience to be a part of that. Unfortunately, COVID happened, and we all had to leave to our respective homes, and because of that, we couldn't really work. And then I resigned from my position. But as a fraternity, they're doing really well now. So that is one of the things that I think every university in the US has, and people should really like look forward to that and be a part of it if possible.
Fantastic. So thanks for sharing all the things that you do, and look forward to sort of
Yeah.
knowing your like the next steps in your life. I know you've already landed a job. What industry is it, and what will you be doing?
So I would be working for Santander Consumer and as a senior risk analyst. So it was mostly a job about data analytics and quantitative financial, decision making, and it's basically a credit policy on auto loans, and like how you build profit loss statements and how much loss the company is making, working under a director of Santander. So I think it's a great opportunity starting from a college, and I think UMass has played an equal role in my life as the other certifications and the skills that I've gotten from online courses and all of that. So I think one needs to like do all of these while in university, just not the courses at university to get such a job.
It's been amazing to see your journey and looking forward to future conversations. We also have several clubs which are virtual and are student led. Love to invite you to some of the panels. They can hear your story. You could perhaps inspire them to do projects that a high school kid could do in economics and even data science. So look forward to many such conversations and
Thank
seeing
you.
you at our webinars. Thank you.
Thank you.